Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll hopefully be able to record this. This is about the fourth time I've recorded a SuperCoach video because my frames continue to drop out every single time. I think I fixed the issue now, and sort of just given it a little bit of time for this computer just to keep itself in check. It looks good at the moment, so hopefully we don't have the major drop off in frames that I was having. I was dropping almost half. I was going from 60 frames to like 30 frames a second, and yeah, that basically was just killing the video quality, and I don't want to produce horrible quality. So yeah, I'm on frames watch this whole video. So if you see me looking down in sort of this direction I'm currently looking at, I'm just looking at the CPU and the frames on OBS to see if it will hold, because I'm really hopeful to get this video out to you guys, but I don't want to produce shitty content. So that is the reason why I am looking at the frames and just watching it closely. So before we get into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. It's holding at the moment, that's good. So yeah, first off, she's at 108. I thought he did really well. I really like that role, and I don't know whether, I think it'll be more damaging in Fantasy than SuperCoach, him going into the middle. And let me make this just a little bit bigger for you guys so that you can actually see it here. Yeah, she's a 108, average of 124 for the year. I'm really liking that role off halfback because he basically gets himself 30 touches a game, and as long as he doesn't use it horrifically by foot, we went back from 59 to 60, we're good. He's gonna do really well, and yeah, just hopeful that he can continue with that backline role. But if he moves into the midfield, I think you may see him drop from maybe an average of maybe those 120, 130 games, that 160 game that he had a couple of weeks ago. Let me just show you guys here. Where is it? Season stats. Where's that? Is it this way? Can we see it this way? Let's see. So you see here 130, 128, 124, 159. I think you see more of these sort of 108s, 110s if he goes into the midfield as he gets more contested possessions, but his efficiency will drop. He'll have more clangers, etc., etc. So I think you will see more 108, 110s, and that's still going to be valuable, and I think it's not worth a trade to trade him out, but I still think that he will hold top six even if he goes into the midfield role. But if he goes into a forward role, that's when it gets iffy, because we saw what happened with Tom Powell. Elliot Yo 138 continues on as almost being one of the top defenders. 610 price tag. He's gone up almost 160k. He continues to go up. He has a 199 break even. I really like this new layer, actually. It's a lot cleaner. It's a lot easier to get to, actually, now looking at it. So yeah, and once we get sort of used to it, I think it will be a lot easier to use and maneuver around. But yeah, 138 from Elliot Yo, really, really good there. Nick Dacos, 128. His efficiency is really, really good, and his ability to get up contested ball numbers is crazy, even off the half back line. And so yeah, 128 from him last week. Really happy about that. Nick Martin, a 124. A 109 average for the year. He's done this job. Wangani Malira, really poor trade-in. I was looking at it when I was actually recording this for the first time, and Wangani Malira was the trade-in when I traded out Young and Martin that week, and I traded in Wangani Malira, Powell, and Steele. And those three are almost my weakest links now out of the premiums or guys that aren't rookies. So yeah, that's that. And then I basically stuffed up the Closey and Graham emergency. Well, I had to pick one and I picked wrong. Simple as that. So a 50-50 call. I thought Closey was averaging a lot more in the year. And now that we're going to probably flip to Graham, given that Closey is one, he got hurt in it in the game, but he seemed fine as he came back on and he played it out. But two, they're going to move to TIO, and I think Closey, you cannot field him at TIO, just given the slick nature of it. So I think that we move to Graham there when we do that. Raul, really liking it, and also we have the TIO Stadium games coming up for them, and I think that's the Darwin ground anyway. And that's very slick, as I said. It's going to be tackle frenzy, and he's getting 10 to 13 tackles a game usually. If we look at here, season stats, then we go to down here, then we go to fantasy stats. You can see here he's getting up there in tackles. The only bad game was this 129 against GWS. Somehow got a 129 on only 3 tackles. But yeah, if you take that out, Matt Rail's doing really well tackle-wise, and he goes to TIO where he could have 15 tackles, honestly. Butters, Bont, Walsh, and I think the good thing about TIO is that who did they play up there, actually, now looking at it? Do you have season stats? This will give us the fixtures, won't it? Because I need just a little bit more space. They play North End Geelong at TAO. So Sheasel might have a shocker at TAO. Geelong as well. Not looking forward to any. I wouldn't be getting any of the max homes for TAO, to be honest with you. But yeah, so I'm really liking the look of Raul at TAO. My frames rate holding it so good. I'm so happy about that. Butters 82. Yep. I just hope that he bounces back tonight. As I've said that about 4 times already. 4 different recordings. Bont 102. Probably almost better now that for those that didn't start him, but hope he bounces back. Hopefully Bevo gets his stuff in check. Sanders isn't playing this week as per some Western Bulldog sources. So Bont, Libba, Trelaw in the middle should actually negatively impact Dale, because that means that Ed Richards goes back into the back line and that sort of takes some points away from him. So those that trade in Dale, just be wary that Libba's coming back and that forces Ed Richards back. Sam Walsh against a depleted Collingwood midfield of, I think when I was recording this and I went through it, it was going to be O'Sullivan, Dacos, Pendlebury, Crisp, and potentially a Josh Dacos or someone else. There was someone else in there that I was potentially missing that could get some time in there. But it's a really depleted Collingwood midfield, so look at a VC for him there. Jack Seal, 70, looking at some training notes, heavily strapped, but he's still doing, he's not going to be out injured, and Rowan Marshall is going to be not out injured, but Rowan Marshall is heavily not doing as much work, so he's just doing bike training, it sounds like, so he sounds a little bit off. Roberts, 80, doing his job, and he will stick out there until we need one last rookie. Bonner, probably time to trade him in the next little bit. I think one more week of him, and then he can go alongside even a Closey potentially at that point to another primo midfielder. And then you got Clark that was running the Wilson loop. Yeah, that's fine. Sharp 44, probably time to go now in Supercoach as well, just given that that's going to stick with him for the next little bit and dominate, and I don't dominate his break-even, and I don't think he'll really move in break-even terms. Wilson done his job and doing it some more, and he'll get to probably, I would say even 400k is a possible for Wilson. Let me just check here. Season stats is going to have it, isn't it? Season stats, and then projected here. Yeah, you can see he's going to project up to 320k. And then start to, but if he can have another 80 or 90 game, that's when he's really going to rise up. So yeah, really happy about Wilson. Garcia, probably going to slow now, very, very heavily, and potential for job security to become an issue. Still potentially 1 or 2 big price rises. If he holds his spot in the side for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I suspect he gets to 200k. And yeah, then he probably stops. So that'll be a watch there on him. Then we have here the ruck line. Gawn and Marshall needs to go. Honestly, his Supercoach scoring isn't that good. Average now down to, what is it now? Average now of 99. I just need to get him to sweep to get the cash gen rolling and get up to English, who's going to have those 3 big clearance-based midfielders around him, which is just a lot better, whereas St Kilda don't seem to have that. So that's the reason why Marshall isn't scoring that well in Supercoach, or doesn't have the ratio that some ruckmen do have. And then Heaney doing his job, Flanders doing his job. Heaney got a 120 through a tag, which was crazy. Flanders 105. His ball use is iffy, but he gets the points. He gets enough ball down there to get the points. Luke Jackson, the 76, he's slowing down a little bit, but still going to be a top-line ruckman, a top-line forward, I feel, and is good coverage during the bye. But the problem that I have now with the bye is that if Marshall goes, then I only have 21 in round, 21 slots in round 13. So there's a problem because both Jackson and also Sweet are on the bye. So maybe in Sweet's bye week, it sounds almost counterintuitive, but we get to English and then we just play him there, and then we also just play Luke Jackson in the ruck in round 15, and then we put in a forward rookie like maybe Hold a Darcy Wilson, or I do have enough forward rookies here, forward players here that hopefully in round 15 I can play them there. If we look at this logically speaking, as I don't think my forward line is going to move much. In round 15, I only have the one forward out, so I can play Harley Reid as well as Powell there and play another rookie. Just looking at it quietly, I would need to probably get another rookie, maybe play a biggie or something if he's still there, but I think another forward rookie's probably going to show up by then, which will be good. And yeah, play them over and that'll work. Just thinking about that. So yeah, we talked about all that. Fife was amazing. His handball heavy style really works in Supercoach if he can get that handball efficiency up. Tom Powell, such a shit role, but hopefully he gets back as... I hope that they drop both Simpkin and Phillips for the sake of North Melbourne, as they are both not AFL quality at the moment. And yeah, Simpkins really felt... he had like 6 clangers or something, Simpkin, in like the first half alone. And then Sam Darcy plays, I believe, Hawthorn this week. Hawthorn, we saw Logan McDonald kick 3 goals 3. I think Sam Darcy can do something similar. And if I actually just check what McDonald actually scored, what did he put up against Hawthorn season stats here? As I know, I'm not going to be training him. He put up a 79. I feel like Darcy, with the ruck work, can put up something even better than that. So yeah, I'd be looking at Sam Darcy as that sort of F6 role. Harley Reid didn't play, but he's back this week. And then Big E's just making cash on the bench, sort of similar to Hugo Garcia. Not the best cash generation, but hopefully some cash generation with an 8 break even. Hugo Garcia's got a -20 break even, so they're still going to make cash, I would suspect. So that's basically what's going on this week. Yes, I did drop a little bit in the ranks. If I didn't, I don't know if I remember showing this. 23-17. Round rank of 22,383. Total score 15,061. I believe I'm about 270 off at the pace. And then 184 round season rank and 97 dropped on the basis of last round. And team value 13.2 million, which is still up there at the top end or at the pointy end. Now we go into trades. And you're probably wondering, what are the trades? Marshall, that seems weird to do it. But at the same time, we're going to do it because, where is it? Jordan Sweets. And this is the big bold play. And then I could do like a Jai Clark. I could do someone else. I could do a Riley Bonner. But I honestly feel like Bonner is going to outscore Sharp this week. So I'm going to do this. And some would say, and I just want to check this. Can I go to trade assist potentially? How do I do this? I'm just going to wait a second here. No, I don't want to do that. That would be dumb. Tom Green. Let's just do Tom Green for a second because I know who I want to grab in. I just want to check with my buys. In round 12, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. And Tom Green would be 5. Can I do 5 guys? Who does Tom Green? He's got the Derby. Tom Green. Do I want to pick him up post buy? What's his run like? Because basically the thought process is, do I want Merritt, Dawson, or Green? Is basically the thought process. And Green, he's got Sydney, who he does really well against. Essendon, Western Bulldogs. So he's got those games. And then Hawthorn. Do I want to just cover him off, or do I want to go with? There's no one really that I want to get rid of necessarily that would make it a better decision. I don't care about that. Can I get rid of that? None of the above. There you go. So I could go Tom Green, but let me just trade this out and do what I think is the most logical choice. I could go Caleb Sarong against Richmond with their depleted midfield. I could do that, giving me another on round 13 if I just go out here. And if you look at my round 13 buy, I've got I've got 4 already. And that would potentially go down to 3 if, I may go Luke Jackson up as well, potentially in that buy as well. We'll see. Just thinking about it. Or do I just go Dawson? Let's check Dawson's run here. Because basically the decision comes down to just a couple of guys here. So Dawson's got a 24 break even. He's probably very, very undervalued as well. Has Port Adelaide, Brisbane, Collingwood. He's starting to get that roll back where he just scores really consistently. And is it going against Merritt another week? A good decision. He's got West Coast, Hawthorn yet. I'm actually going to go Dawson and go really, really, and give myself almost. And I did have Merritt in the midfield for like a majority of the week, but I am going to go Dawson, who scored a 127 last week, so we'll grab him up. Dawson here leaving me 158k in the bank, and that basically allows me next week 158k in the bank. And I know this is going to sound crazy to do, but 158k, I could probably do a double. I could probably do a 1 up, 1 down quite easily here with that. And I'd probably just do, honestly, a Closey and maybe a Bonner, or maybe a Bonner and a Garcia or something. But yeah, something with Closey and someone else up, I would say, as Closey's break even is going to start to hurdle up, I reckon, in my opinion. You can see 21 and 84 they're projecting. I think he gets more like a 60, and that would get him up to like a 35-40 break even. Or maybe we just hold for a week. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really starting to like the look of this this side here. If I go here, you'll see that Bonner, Darcy Wilson, Harley Reid as well. So Harley Reid for Tom Powell. Darcy Wilson will do that, I reckon, just because I want to see if we'll see. Because effectively speaking, I can do something like that, and basically what it comes down to is who do I want my rookies to be, and at the moment it's going to be Darcy, Bonner, Roberts, and Caulfield that are basically my no, not Closey. I want Graham here. This is really poor. But yeah, I basically want Graham here, and if Tom Powell scores well, Jai Clark goes here in there, and then I can basically, Bonner's going to be locked, but you know what I can do, because if I remember correctly, they're going to be locked as well, so that's going to be locked away. How can I work this out? Do I have any defenders? You know what I can do, actually? Now thinking, this is thinking smarter, not harder. Yes, that works. I put Martin into the midfield because I know that Roberts is going to play first, so he's going to be locked. Bonner's going to be locked. But if Powell scores well, he plays before Martin, then I can and Jai Clark plays just after it. So I can put Jai Clark on field here, and then also just take, and then also I can do this as well. That if Sweet doesn't play well, then I can just put Livingston into the forward line and take Wilson score. There you go. So that is how I'm going to line up. There's a lot of loops happening here, etc., etc. So basically it all boils down to, does Jordan Sweet score well? If Jordan Sweet scores well, nothing moves in this forward line. Darcy Wilson doesn't play on field. If Jordan Sweet doesn't score well, Luke Jackson moves here. You can see with my cursor here, Luke Jackson moves to the Livingston R2 role, and then Darcy Wilson comes on field. So that is that forward line ruck sort of looping going on there. Then in the midfield, you'll see Tom Powell is emergency at M9. If he scores well, you'll have, given that St Kilda have play in the same game against North that weekend, Bonner will be locked. Given that Dawson will have already played, he'll be locked. Steele will be locked. Martin, although Martin is my looping option, as I can bring him into the back line, and for Graham, who will have, and given that Western Bulldogs will not have played yet, this is the reason why it works. Martin can go to the D8 position for Graham. Graham can then float into the float back to the M10 position, and Jai Clark can go on field. And then also in the same sense that Nick Martin can just go back into that D6 role, and that'll be the way that lines up. And then that'll basically give me the opportunity to see Tom Powell score, or Tom Powell and Sweet scores before and get the best one out of that, or at least have a banker score enough out of those scores, or else I just go for Will Graham and Darcy Wilson if they or something, or rather, but you understand the looping there, the reasoning behind that looping and how it actually works, and why I need to put Nick Martin into the midfield to allow that DPP swapping to occur. That will happen quickly on Saturday, to allow that to occur at around 7 p.m. or so, so that I can get the best scores out of it. But that is basically the video, and surprisingly, somehow my frames rate, I don't think, dropped below about 58 frames per second. So I'm really, really happy about that. The CPU was going crazy, but frames per second pretty much stayed at 60 most of the time. So really, really happy about the quality of the video. For those people listening on Spotify, they're probably like, what is going on? But yeah, really happy about how my team is shaping up. Only got Bonner, Roberts, Graham, and I've only really got 1, 2, sort of 3 bad positions, and if Power starts to get that rollback, I can just slot him into the forward line at F6, put Darcy Wilson back into the midfield bench role, and Sam Darcy can just almost become a cash generator at that point. But if he loses it, Sam Darcy just becomes my F6. So yeah, really happy about my team, how it's progressing, sort of starting to almost generate enough cash through the gears that I'm starting to almost be able to. I'm hoping that I'll start to have like Darcy Wilson just on my bench potentially as a looping option throughout the end of the season, as I want to get almost up to the point where I have 23, 24 premios. But hopefully we get up to that point. My cash gen is going really, really well. And yeah, just also need to remember that Sweet as well needs to go up if he at the end of the year to English. But that gap is going to close massively in the next 3 to 4 weeks, as Sweet is projected this week to rise, where is it here? Sweet with an 85 is going to rise 90k, and with 2 85s, back-to-back 85s, he's going to rise 160k. So by the time his buy comes in and Soldo probably comes back into the side, they're projecting Sweet to be 400k with 85s. So yeah, that's a really, really big number of, what's that, only 230k, 240k cash rise. That will be huge for cash generation over the course of the year. So yeah, really happy about that. So yeah, just hoping that Sweet does really well tonight. And yeah, so that is the video, a long-winded video, but hopefully you understood all the thought process there, the logical sort of challenges, the problems and the solving of those problems with the looping, etc., and why I sort of made that decision to go for Jordan Dawson, as I feel like he's going to be a top 8 mid, and I'm getting him underpriced, even though I do miss the merit matchup against the Eagles. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.